Christmas. Or again, as we see, Happy Holidays, Merry Christmas to you all. This is the second of a three-part series in which I talk about what great games for Christmas are coming around that you might be interested in taking part of, either for your own Christmas list or for providing Christmas lists to others. I previously did the family game, occasional game, party game one earlier. Now we're going to talk about games for the avid gamer, the one that plays a lot of board games, enjoys it, is kind of into the industry and into the hobby. These are games that I have tried really hard to make sure are at least available in some degree, not necessarily complete. Not everyone is available easily, but most of these I've been able to look at and go, yeah, you can get a copy of. These are games that do require that you have more of a board gamer mindset. They're not necessarily going to be ones you're going to give to cousin Dwart when he's at the eggnog table in aisle 4 of the Christmas extravaganza that you must run every year at your friendly neighborhood like fabric store. Anyway, let's get on to it. The first game that I recommend is Planet Unknown. Not being a big fan of Tetris type of games or polyomino games, this one surprised me in how well it was done. Planet Unknown can play in a simple mode or you can play a more complex mode. The idea is you are building up your planet and you're using a rotisserie plate, a rotisserie tray of different tiles, and you're taking those tiles and you're placing them on your board. As you do, you unlock the ability to increase tracks and just help terraform your particular planet. By description, it doesn't sound very interesting, but it flows nicely and it adds a lot of complexity iteratively so that you can start off and just explain the game. I would not get it without the rotating middle part because it just makes it so much easier to grab tiles, place them down. Very, very nice components, but I recommend it. The next one is a game called Fit to Print. Fit to Print is a wacky, crazy, if anyone's ever played Galaxy Trucker, this will be familiar to them. Think of it as, the Galaxy Gazette, so to speak. You are grabbing tiles on phase 1 that you think are going to fit on your newspaper. These are articles and ads and pictures and all that stuff. Then in phase 2, you are trying to concoct the best arrangement to be able to have your newspaper front page be better than all the other people's newspapers. There's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday edition, and when you're done, whoever did the best is going to win. It's really clever. The artwork is very good. I love the humor on the tiles themselves, so recommend taking a look at that. And then we have a classic, which is reprinted and back available again more so than it was earlier this year, and that is Heat. If you want a very fun, very interesting racing game where you're racing around a track or two or more, Heat is the best of the best. It is a fantastic game that really just kind of blew me away with how easy it was to play, how logical it was to play, how more it was than just rolling dice and figuring out how far to go. You have lots to contend with and think about, and if you really get into it, there are more advanced modes that really take it from everyone in the pool play and have fun to you could real strategize with this. Campaign mode, solo mode, everything shines in this game, and so if you have a chance, I recommend Heat. Then we have The Last Kingdom. The Last Kingdom, if you have watched the videos, the movie series, you would probably really like and appreciate all of the subtle ways that this game represents that Netflix series in all of its glory. Very easy game. Not very easy game, very good game. You play 2 rounds. You play as one of the characters, although a lot of the characters make their appearance in the game. You're fighting over different areas using cards and actions, and it was done by a veteran designer who knew very much how to make a great game. The one downside is the artwork has been generally, at least 50% of the people can't stand the board itself. They find it bland and stuff, but when they don't like the use of the actual characters from the movie on the cards, etc. But if you can look past that, you're going to find one of the funnest, most entertaining mid-range games of this year. Highly recommended. Then Castles of Burgundy has had 3 different versions now. The original is over 10 years old, and remains one of the top rated, top beloved games of all time for its smooth amount of play and building up your castle and your kingdom in your duchy area using tiles, and just so smooth, so delightful. They did a reprint or a re-envisioning with different artwork and stuff a few years ago, and I find I didn't think one was any better than the other. They've done a special edition now, but it is pricey. It is very, very pricey, but it's also one of the best, most elegant, most delightful versions of the game ever. It has every expansion plus additional modes of play for solo and not, and other players. It has, yeah, it is gorgeous components, gorgeous gameplay. It took Castles of Burgundy and made it from, yeah, it's okay, to, wow, I'm really, really liking this game. And so if you have a chance to play that one, even, you don't have to have the fancy one to enjoy the gameplay itself. So then we have Banish the Snakes. Now this is a game that came out, it's from GMT, which if you're just sort of an avid gamer, you may not have heard of. If you're a war gamer, you probably have heard of. But Banish the Snakes is a game about St. Patrick in England. It's all about the Celtic Irish quest of converting Ireland from its Druidic roots to Christendom, and it is very, very easy to play, comparatively speaking, and very fun. I played it one, two, several player, and enjoy it immensely. I know that this one's on the cusp because it could have easily been a hardcore game, except that as far as hardcore game goes, it's very, very simple. But the artwork is astonishing. The gameplay itself is real smooth. It isn't your typical Pandemic, just whack a cube out here, get the cubes out until you win. This one has a lot of like structural decisions to make as you try to convert from the smaller areas to the larger areas. Who's in charge? You've got events that happen of different potencies that can affect your quest to try to complete the role so that all of you win. Very, very cool. And finally, if you haven't played any of the Dunes, Dune Imperium, Dune Uprising, I recommend them highly. These are one of the smoothest. They're not deck building games. They're not worker placement games, all those terms getting thrown about. It's just a smooth ride through the Dune universe. You can get either one. I have the original Dune Imperium with every expansion pack and the upgrade packs and everything like that. I also have Dune Uprising, which is a different game taking place in the different later events. None of these are, even just getting the basic game, I felt there's just a general joy to those games of just playing. I feel you're always feeling like you're doing something substantial, no matter how slight. The games play well, they play smoothly, they play great whether you're playing one player, two, three, or four. And then that's about it. I would, if you have a chance to play Lost Ruins of Arnak, I pretty much would add that to the list too. There's also 2 expansion packs for that, but this is one that makes you do like the Indiana Jones feeling game. Artwork is great. The map is way huge, but you are going through and you're trying to basically be expedition explorers and stuff, like moving through and making your way. And it's a very different game, say, than Dune or others. But in its own right, I think if you love artwork and you love the idea of just a pleasant, it's not tension galore. But it is this nice feeling of building up and exploring and finding archaeological interesting things going on. You're gonna give that you're probably gonna like that too. So those are the Avid games I recommend for Christmas of 2023. Again, what do you guys have? Who's played something and they're like, how could you not add this to the list? Maybe I didn't play it and I don't have every game. I know, I try, but now that the industry is so big, it's really impossible to have every game. So anyway, but let me know. But thanks again, and we'll see you next time on Harebrained Games.